So I'm so glad to be here this evening. My name is Catherine Royston, and I am with Our Minds Matter. We are a student-led movement designed to change school culture around mental health. So a little bit about me. I actually graduated from Montgomery County Public High School. I went on to college and I studied psychology. And so I am the dedicated support staff to help facilitate the expansion of Our Minds Matter to Montgomery County. In addition to really making it sustainable, we've found that when we have a support staff on the ground or even close in a virtual setting, we're able to make our clubs much more sustainable. And so I'm passionate about mental health. I love reading and taking long walks. So next we'll go into a little icebreaker. That is something that we've done with our students before, recently actually for our winter leadership training. And so this graphic I cannot take credit for. I found it on the internet from a website called Bodies at Work. And it's a little brain exercise to get us in the mindset for today's workshop. So first off, what is an expectation? An expectation is something that you bring to the situation based on old experiences. Our expectations can limit the possibility of experiences by putting boxes around people or circumstances. So it doesn't mean that everything will happen as expected, but that you might be prone to interpret what you experience according to those previous expectations. Alternatively, what you see over here on the right is an intention. An intention is also something that you bring to the situation, but it serves to enrich the experience. An intention is an embodied state, an atmosphere, or a wish that you might have for a situation where you align your thinking, feeling, and physical being into your intention. All you can do is focus your attention and awareness on what you like to bring to the situation in hopes that it'll be a good experience. So from this, we can see that an expectation can sometimes narrow your experiences, while intentions can broaden and open up your experiences. So at this time, we would ask our students, so what is your intention for this training, this workshop? And so if you'd like, you can feel free to drop it in the chat what your intention is for coming here this evening. Something that I often have as an intention is to be present in this moment. Sometimes it's easy in this virtual world to get distracted. And so that is often what I think of as my intention. Next, normally we'd also ask our students, what is something that you dream of? Now that you have set your intention, I see in the chat to be completely engaged, so thank you. We really appreciate that. I appreciate that. And so going beyond this training, this workshop, what is something that you hope for the future? Something that working in the field of mental health, something that I hope for is one day when no teen dies by suicide, when we have the resources and the capabilities to support our youth and each other and really give them these skills at a young age so that when they go off into the world, they're better able to support themselves and others. So this is a little bit of a connection exercise that we call an opening ritual that we have our clubs do at the beginning of their club meeting. And it really serves for students to really check in with themselves and with other people, while also just creating this space of, okay, let's get ourselves into this mindset of what we've come here today to do. So now I'll go into a little bit of history about Our Minds Matter. So Our Minds Matter was created to honor the life of Josh Anderson. Josh was our executive director's youngest brother who died by suicide at the age of 17. The Anderson family has worked diligently to create a program that would help students like Josh. In 2012, the Anderson family started the Josh Anderson Foundation to work towards a future where no teen would die by suicide. In 2016, they officially launched Our Minds Matter to create student-led change in school communities and equip teens with skills and mental health knowledge so that they never die by suicide. And so this past summer, during the summer of 2020, our organization officially rebranded to go by Our Minds Matter. So the Our Minds Matter curriculum was developed and informed by the JEDS Foundation's comprehensive approach to suicide prevention. Additionally, Our Minds Matter takes in a bunch of different other evidence-based, and we're continually improving our program based on student needs and other research about the effectiveness of peer-to-peer youth models. And so ultimately, our goal is to really empower students. And we want to make a difference in school communities by helping peers build the following productive factors: self-care, social connectedness, pro-social skills, and help-seeking behavior. All of these have been proven to improve and maintain overall well-being and really create that safe environment for students to thrive. So next, where we are, we have a strong foothold in the DMV, but we're also a nationwide movement. So currently we are supporting 77 total clubs, and 50 of those are in the Metro DC area. Now, thanks to the support from the Devin C. Rubenstein Foundation, we were able to expand our club model to Montgomery County and provide our program at no charge to MCPS high schools. And this partnership has been really important for the sustainability and the continued support of this mental wellness initiative in MCPS. So in October 2019, we started with our first Minds Matter club at Quince Orchard High School. Since then, almost a year and some months later, we've onboarded an additional 12 Montgomery County public high schools and now have a total of 13 clubs. And so these schools include, I'll list them off, there's a bunch of them. In order of when we onboarded them, we have a club at Montgomery Blair, Watkins Mill, Northwest, Kennedy, Blake, Walt Whitman, Richmond Montgomery, Bethesda Chevy Chase, Rockville, Clarksburg, Springbrook, and our latest club is at Magruder High School. And so how does our program work? I've talked about a little bit about our history and where we are. So first, we partner with schools to explore how the program would work. Either schools reach out to us or we've done outreach to them, which was the case in Montgomery County. And first, we need to identify a club sponsor. So this is usually someone who is a school counselor or psychologist, a social worker, or someone who has received some mental health or counseling background. Usually there's about one club sponsor, but sometimes schools choose to have more. And then from there, the club sponsors and the school administrators and principal help to identify a group of students who are passionate about mental health and who want to take on a leadership position to lead these clubs at their schools. And so we start on the level of a peer-to-peer model of students who are trained by us. We hold quarterly leadership trainings, in addition to private office hours for our club sponsors, and others to really train our students with the materials that we have, which I'll go into soon, so that they can hold these club meetings. Generally, club meetings are held, I'd say most often, once every other week, but some schools choose to do it once a month or once a week. And they also get to decide that what are the priorities at my high school and what are some things that we want to focus on. And so some clubs choose to lead school-wide campaigns based on their goals, and they get to choose from our bank of activities which activities really would speak to their student community. So now for what Our Minds Matter offers compared to other programs you might have heard of. So we've designed this program with simplicity in mind that is able to be customized to specific schools. So I will cover how we have dedicated support staff like myself, our club resources, and our network of connected clubs. So Laura Beth and myself, Laura Beth is our program manager. I am the Our Minds Matter program coordinator. I primarily manage the Montgomery County clubs and our national clubs, whereas Laura Beth will focus her efforts on supporting our Fairfax County clubs and our other clubs in the DMV. And so we hold a bunch of things from office hours for students. We conduct monthly wellness checks to check in with clubs and comment on their attendance. Say, hey, we saw that you held a meeting. Great job. Is there anything we can support you with? We also come and attend club meetings as our site visits now, which look different than when we were in person. So we could either come in and sit in on a meeting and provide some feedback, or we'll come in as a guest speaker. Next, for our network of connected students and clubs. So we have celebration socials, we have internship opportunities. Last summer, we actually had 20 high school interns and a few who were alumni from our program and now in college to help us with different initiatives that we're doing. We try to be the most student-centric program and really like that feedback from our students. We have leader group chats and social media where students are able to share ideas and support one another. And we also have our quarterly leadership trainings, which most recently we held our winter leadership training, which was held a few Sundays ago. And we had 75 students show up from 45 schools around the country. And so we were pleasantly surprised to see such a great group of students come out. And although students are fatigued by school from their bedrooms, their homes, they were still eager to participate in this training. And we were able to be in this space for students to authentically engage with their peers in a non-academic space. And other ways that students are able to connect with one another are, for example, through our monthly newsletter. We have opportunities for students. And many of our students actually come to us with resources that they say, oh, there's this resource that I want to share with you, or I've developed this activity. And we try to find ways to incorporate it into our program. Once every 2 weeks, we're able to do what we call a club feature. You can see in the middle here, JAG Minds Matter. This is our club at Northwest High School. We highlighted them for how they go about making their club meetings interactive. So they ask their club members to submit what they call meeting topics. And during the next meeting, they'll touch on this topic and talk about it in their school community. It could be something from maybe the confidentiality rules and regulations at their school to maybe a current event in their school. We also were able to spotlight Cougar Minds Matter from Quince Orchard High School, and they collaborated with their athletic department to talk about mental health and mental health initiatives in their school community. We also highlighted Watkins Mill Minds Matter from Watkins Mill High School in their inclusivity efforts. So they have taken their marketing materials for their meetings and translated them into Spanish. And they also shared this with us during our winter leadership training. And it was a platform that they've set up to recruit students, to share resources with them. And so far to date, we've had 51 meetings from the fall, so from roughly August through currently now January 2021. And we've engaged over 850 unique students in these meetings. And some of these clubs have chosen to hold school-wide social media campaigns to engage their larger student body, even when they're not in school. As for our club resources, we have over 75 activities that we have developed over time, which students can choose these from our bank of activities. And we also have a bunch of club resources. So we recently developed a club portal and updated our resources to be all in one central location for students to use. And so we have things from our bank of activities, which have activities from themes such as stigma reduction, mental health 101, healthy habits and coping skills. We also have a bunch of leadership resources and templates so that students really can get themselves organized when they first start their club and come up with some club goals. We even here have something for club sponsors that's almost like a crash course guide of all the things that you need to know, the location of our resources, other maybe videos that we have on our YouTube channel that could support their club. As you may have noticed before referencing JAG Minds Matter from Northwest High School, every club has their own custom logo. So this is something that we create with the school colors, and schools can choose to have their school name or mascot followed by Minds Matter. And so we found that this is a way for students to really make their clubs their own and something that they identify with, while also seeing that they're part of a larger network. And so bringing all these resources together, students have been able to lead school-wide campaigns to work towards school-wide change for their larger student body audience. So some of these campaigns are that we have done in the past year. In the past 10 months, Our Minds Matter has offered a platform for teens to engage and discuss current events and topics. So back in June, we held a month-long Pride campaign where we had a new activity that one of our college interns had developed around pronouns and how to go about asking someone for their pronouns and why it's important to use and honor the pronouns that someone chooses for themselves. And we also had a BIPOC mental health campaign in July featuring some of our student interns who wanted to share their stories and their journeys through mental health. This past November, we held a Men's Mental Health Month, which culminated in a men's mental health panel to hear voices of young men share their journeys with mental health, and to hear from male providers in order to really try to work on reducing the stigma around men's mental health and creating a dialogue where this is something that we want to be more open about. Our next upcoming campaign will be our Black Youth Minds Matter campaign during the month of February. So we will be hosting a Solomon speakers panel at the end of February on Tuesday, February 23rd. And so this was named after Solomon Carter Fuller, the first African-American psychiatrist, and will focus on highlighting personal experiences of one's mental health journey as a Black teen or young adult, as well as hearing from Black mental health providers. So this is open to the public. We encourage anyone who would like to attend to come out. And this will really focus on stigma reduction around Black youth mental health, identifying structural and cultural barriers to accessing mental health resources, and highlighting these resources that are available. So that's what I have for right now. Here is how you can contact me. We also have our website, ourmindsmatter.org, or you can contact us at program@ourmindsmatter.org.